Hey everybody! The underwater world is fraught with many mysteries. The marine life in the deep blue water is truly amazing. However, for some reason we believe that even if sea monsters do exist, ordinary fishermen are unlikely to come across them. Oscar Lundahl from Norway prefers to spend his leisure time fishing. He can't even imagine his life without a fishing rod and a boat. The man is an experienced fisherman and used to think that he'd seen everything, but that day, the sea managed to surprise him. Oscar was fishing for halibut, which is quite abundant in Norwegian waters. He was with a friend, and together they decided to rent a motorboat and sail off the coast, since the water level is too low near the coastline to catch any weighty fish. Large fish usually live at great depths, which aren't all that easy to reach. Having reached a certain point, where the depth was about 800 meters, Oscar and his friends started setting up gear and discussed the upcoming fishing. The weather was perfect, and the friends were sure that they wouldn't return home empty-handed. The fishing rods with bait were ready, and the men started fishing, their nets laying at hand. All that remained was to wait. A few minutes later, the bobber on Oscar's line indicated that a fish had taken the bait. The man immediately jumped up and ran to the tackle to try and pull his catch out of the water. But it quickly became apparent that there was some very large fish at the other end of the fishing line. It took the man quite some time to reel the fish in. But eventually, the man did manage to achieve his goal. It took me about 30 minutes to reel it in. When the young man saw what he had caught, he was speechless. A strange fish looked at him with huge eyes. It looked more like an alien than a halibut. Oscar remembers what he thought at the moment. It was pretty amazing. I have never seen anything like it before. It just looked weird, a bit dinosaur-like. I didn't know what it was, but my colleague did. It turned out that the man had caught a ratfish, Chimera monstrosa in Latin. It's a distant relative of sharks, and it lives at great depths and prefers not to let people see it. Despite its formidable appearance, this fish won't harm humans because it feeds exclusively on crabs and other small creatures. Unfortunately, the ratfish did not survive due to the sudden change in pressure, so there was no point in releasing it. Thus, the man decided to take the fish home and eat it. He claims that it was delicious. It was a bit like cod, but tastier, Oscar shared. And here's another amazing incident that happened to Martin Glatz, an angler from Duisburg, Germany. He recently caught a highly unusual fish in a lake in the Netherlands, which he called a mandarin catfish. It was a Wells catfish, Silarus glanus, a large species found in lakes and rivers throughout Europe. These fish are known for their enormous sizes. They can grow to at least 2.5 meters long and weigh over 100 kilograms. Usually, they don't have the bright yellow coloring, like the fish that Glatz had caught. This unusual catfish probably has leucism, a rare genetic disorder that causes a reduction in skin pigmentation. Leucism has been observed in mammals, reptiles, birds, and fish. While it may look strange and beautiful to people, leucism usually comes with significant disadvantages for the animal in the wild. The bright color makes these animals stand out more to predators, making them an easier target. Glatz took some photos and then released the fish in the hopes that it would grow very big. And we'll continue our episode with yet another story of an unusual catch, this time in South America. When the man realized that he had a fish on his line, he immediately tried to reel it in. However, he couldn't do it at first. Apparently, it was a rather large fish. It took the man several minutes, but he did manage to get the fish out. When the fisherman saw what he had caught, he was speechless. An unknown fish was staring at him. It looked like some kind of mutant. Looking at this fish actually makes me feel rather uncomfortable. The man shared later, "I have never seen anything like it before. The fish looked strange, like some kind of a dinosaur. It was one of the strangest creatures I've ever encountered." In fact, the fisherman had caught a lyre-tail pleco. The length of this fish can reach 53 to 65 centimeters. Its head is very large, and its upper part is covered with strong and sharp odontodes, dermal teeth. It has small eyes. This fish leads a solitary life. Adults are territorial and aggressive. During the day, the fish hides among the stones and snags, but it gets more active at dusk. Its color is usually solid black, but sometimes it can be dark gray. This particular fish, however, turned out to be unique. Apparently, the fish was partly albino. No one has ever caught this kind of fish before. At least, there is no official data anywhere. The men decided to be kind and chose not to eat the fish. Instead, they simply released it back into the river. We can only guess how much of the ocean remains unexplored and what surprises await us in the future. For example, some interesting specimens from the ocean bottom have already come out to people. A fisherman from Sydney posted a photo of an unusual creature in the Trapman Bermagui Facebook group, asking netizens to help identify it. The picture features a fish with translucent skin, as well as a strangely structured huge mouth. Netizens began to wonder what kind of creature it was. However, they didn't seem to have reached a consensus, but rather switched to making jokes about the weird appearance of the unidentified fish. However, eventually, some people did manage to identify the creature in the picture. It turned out that this species of fish is called Haplophyrine mollis. And that's all for today, friends. Share your thoughts about this episode in the comments. Like the video, and please don't forget to share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.